Many years ago, I was in Burundi, my country. I was at university, and I was taking an Arabic language course. And at the end of the course, the professor came to us before he said goodbye, and he said, "I wish all of you to suffer." And we were like, what do you mean? And he says, when you suffer, there are lessons that you learn that you couldn't learn otherwise. And for me, that was strange, because prior to that moment, I had never suffered in my life. And I was like, what do you mean? Even in 1993, when I lost family members, brothers and co-workers in a war, that was suffering, but I don't remember learning anything from it. Then fast forward, 2012, I'm here in Toronto with my family in North York. And then I hear a noise on the door, bam, bam, bam. My wife runs for cover. I rush to the door. I open and I see 3 police officers and my landlord. And they say, "Sir, you have 5 minutes to get out. You are being evicted." So I found myself on the street with no money, with my wife and my daughter, who was 6 months old, pushing her in a stroller. And we went to the food court with nowhere to go, no money in the pocket. We spent 4 hours in the food court with no idea where we were going to be. Thank God my wife was still breastfeeding my daughter because we had no food. The next 9 months, we were homeless 5 times. And I remember standing on the street and see a taxi leaving with my wife and daughter, and I didn't even know where they were going. So I spent the next 4 days in a Tim Hortons, watching TD Jakes on my laptop. Then those next 2 weeks, I was in a church basement until a friend of mine came and took me in his home, where I spent the next 6 months. How in the world did I survive that? First of all, that was not my first time being homeless. 2002, I landed in Canada with $60 in my pocket. That was not even my money. That was my mom's life savings. And I found myself in a homeless shelter. When I met some friends, and I started sharing my dreams to work in the media, and all of them laughed at me. "Dude, you're homeless. What do you mean working in the media?" The second thing that helped me survive all those struggles was that I overcame every struggle before it came to me. Because I said to myself, whatever comes my way, I don't care how big it is, I'm going to fulfill my dream. I paid the price in my mind before the struggle came to me. And looking back, I couldn't agree more with my professor, because struggle has changed me. I learned about the value of friendship, where nobody could take my phone call when I was struggling, except one guy who is here in the audience today. I learned, thank you. I learned about compassion. I will never judge anybody on the street begging for money, because I did it so many times on Queen Street, begging for $5 to buy diapers for my daughter. And I remember me and my wife and my kid being in a shelter, meeting a family that I referred to the same shelter. I was so humble at that moment. Now, just a few weeks ago, a friend of mine called me, and he said, "Patrick, what kind of prayer did you pray at the beginning of this year? Because it looks like every single dream of yours is coming to pass." And it's true. Just Saturday, I put together the biggest event in the French-speaking community, for Black History Month, the biggest in the city. Today, I'm standing in front of you, but I was not supposed to be here. I was supposed to be at Scotiabank Arena, covering the Raptors on the radio. So that struggle, being here and there, that was my struggle. I'm working in the media. I'd like to go back to see my homeless friend and say, who's laughing now? I'm about to launch my first book, sharing my stories, how I overcome every challenge that I faced. You don't have 24 hours to listen to me. Now, if I could just go back in time and speak to the Patrick that was struggling many years ago, I would say to him, my friend Patrick, if you have to overcome every struggle, when it comes to pursuing your dreams and goal, you have to do 3 things. You have to think big, you have to be bold, and you have to act now. And today, that is my wish to all of you. Thank you.